Let me ask you a very simple question. When you hand over a cashier's check for $85,000, do you own the thing you just bought? In a sane world governed by basic arithmetic and property rights, the answer is yes. But if you are buying a 2024, 2025, or God forbid, a 2026 model year truck, the answer is a cold, hard, legally binding no. Congratulations. You didn't just buy a heavy-duty work vehicle. You just signed a 72-month financing agreement to become a lifelong tenant in a rolling iPad. You bought a permission slip to travel, temporarily granted to you by a corporate server farm 3,000 miles away. Pop the hood of a brand new truck today. What do you see? You don't see an engine. You don't see mechanical engineering. You see a fortress of cheap, brittle plastic engine covers hiding a labyrinth of over-engineered garbage. You see tamper-proof Torx bits, sealed black box modules, and a digital cage designed with one singular purpose: to legally lock you out of your own property. We are standing at the grave of the driveway mechanic, but this wasn't an accidental death caused by progress or aerodynamics. It was a premeditated assassination. The automakers have quietly declared a coordinated war on your wallet, your privacy, and your mechanical independence. They are terrified of you turning your own wrench. And today, we are going to expose the exact boardroom blueprints, the behavioral psychology, and the absolute grift they are using to turn your driveway into a remote-controlled crime scene. We're going to talk about the subscription trap, the incoming 2026 federal kill switch mandates, and the digital extortion running rampant at your local dealerships. More importantly, I am going to show you how to fight back. We are going to break down the forever list, the only analog, bulletproof vehicles left that allow you to stay entirely off the grid. Buckle up, because the truth about what is sitting in your driveway is going to make you sick. To understand the sheer scale of this scam, we have to look at the current, deeply diseased state of the U.S. auto market. We are living in an era of mass delusion. Men who pride themselves on being self-sufficient, rugged, and independent are marching into brightly lit dealerships and voluntarily signing away their financial futures for trucks that have the structural integrity of a disposable razor. We have normalized paying $80,000 to $100,000 for a machine that is mathematically guaranteed to catastrophically fail the second the factory warranty expires. Why are we doing this? Why are guys paying a second mortgage for a Ram 1500 or a Chevy Silverado that spends 3 months out of the year sitting in a service bay waiting on a microchip from Taiwan? It comes down to behavioral psychology, specifically the sunk cost fallacy. The automakers and their lending partners have engineered the pricing so high that your brain literally breaks trying to process the risk. When you drop 80 grand on a truck, your ego attaches to it. So, 3 years down the road, when the active fuel management system eats a lifter and destroys the camshaft, a known, systemic failure of planned obsolescence, you don't push the truck off a cliff. You tow it to the dealer. And when the service advisor tells you it's going to be $5,500 to fix a problem they engineered into the motor, you pay it. You tell yourself, well, I've already got so much money tied up in this thing. I have to fix it. You are trapped in a financial hostage situation. The manufacturers know this. They stopped acting like mechanical engineers over a decade ago. Today, they are software developers and financial engineers. Their goal is no longer to build a vehicle that lasts 400,000 miles. A truck that runs forever is a nightmare for their quarterly earnings reports. Their goal is to build a revenue event generation machine. Every time a sensor misfires, every time a plastic gear inside an electronic parking brake shatters, every time the auto start-stop system destroys your starter motor, that is a designated revenue event. We've gone from the era of the Ford 300 inline six, a chunk of cast iron so reliable it could survive a nuclear blast and run on contaminated sludge, to an era of small displacement, twin turbocharged, overstressed engines mated to glassjaw CVT transmissions. They wrap this catastrophic drivetrain in a luxury leather interior, slap a 14-inch touchscreen on the dash, and call it innovation. It's not innovation. It is a carefully calculated degradation of quality designed to siphon your wealth. Now, let's get our hands dirty and do a forensic autopsy on exactly how they are enforcing this grift. Because making a truck that breaks is only step 1. Step 2 is ensuring that when it breaks, you are legally and digitally barred from fixing it yourself. Welcome to the era of VIN-locking and DRM, digital rights management, for car parts. Let's say you own a late-model GM or Ram truck and your power window switch fails. In a sane reality, like back in 1998, you would drive to a salvage yard, hand the guy at the counter $5 wrinkled dollars, take a plastic switch, pop it into your door panel, and roll your window down. It's a closed electrical circuit. Power, ground, switch, arithmetic. But if you try to take a perfectly functioning, genuine OEM window switch from a wrecked 2024 truck and plug it into your 2024 truck, nothing happens. The window will not move. Why? Because the corporate sociopaths in Detroit embedded a microchip inside that plastic switch with a unique cryptographic serial number. When you plug it in, your truck's body control module interrogates the switch. It says, "Does this serial number match the approved ledger of parts encrypted at the factory?" When it doesn't match, the truck intentionally blocks the circuit. It is a digital blockade. To make that window roll down, you have to tow your truck to the dealership. You have to pay a certified technician $220 an hour to plug in a proprietary, licensed laptop, connect your truck to the manufacturer's cloud server, and digitally marry the new switch to the truck's computer. Listen to me closely. Buying a modern truck is exactly like marrying a high-maintenance gold digger. You pay this massive, crippling upfront dowry just to get her in the driveway. But the bleeding doesn't stop there. You are hit with constant, daily microtransactions just to keep the relationship from going into limp mode. And the second your wallet gets light, the second you try to handle a problem yourself instead of paying her expensive therapist at the dealership, she locks you out of the bedroom, changes the alarm code, and refuses to speak to you. You are held financially hostage by a partner that views you purely as a walking ATM. This isn't about safety. Don't let them feed you that corporate PR garbage about cybersecurity and driver protection. This is an illegal monopoly tactic right out of the Gilded Age. They watched John Deere do this to American farmers for a decade. John Deere realized that if they sold a farmer a $500,000 combine, they could force that farmer to pay $2,000 just to clear a diagnostic code for a $40 sensor by locking the software. They created an artificial crisis, and the automotive industry salivated at the profit margins. But the grift goes deeper than just locking the parts. We have to talk about the subscription trap. Automakers looked at software companies like Adobe and Netflix and realized, why are we only taking their money once? This gave birth to the most insulting, anti-consumer business model in human history. We are seeing companies like BMW, Toyota, and others actively experimenting with charging you monthly fees to use hardware already physically bolted into your car. Imagine this. This is the second metaphor, and I want you to burn this into your brain. Imagine paying $500,000 in cold, hard cash for a beautiful, custom-built home. You hold the deed. You walk into your master bathroom, you handle your business, and you reach to flush the toilet. But there is a digital coin slot bolted to the porcelain tank. The builder tells you, "Oh, congratulations on buying the house. The plumbing is yours. The water is yours. The porcelain is yours. But the act of flushing? That's an active software service. That's going to be $18 a month, indefinitely. And if your credit card expires, we lock the flapper valve remotely." You would burn the house down. You would run that builder out of town. Yet, when automakers demand $15 a month to activate the remote start on your key fob, a localized radio frequency that costs them literally $0 to operate, or when they demand a subscription to turn on the heated seats you already bought and paid for at the dealer, society just shrugs and inputs their Visa number. They are testing the fences. They are using behavioral conditioning to see how much abuse the American consumer will take before they revolt. And it's all tied into the surveillance grid. Modern trucks are transmitting gigabytes of telemetry data back to the mothership every hour. They track your speed, your location, your hard braking, your seatbelt usage, and they are selling that data to insurance companies to artificially inflate your premiums. And looming on the horizon is the 2026 federal kill switch mandate, a thinly veiled piece of legislation buried in an infrastructure bill that mandates remote shutoff capabilities in new vehicles under the guise of impaired driving prevention. It is a backdoor, a digital guillotine. If a corporation, a hacker, or a rogue algorithm decides your vehicle shouldn't start, you are walking. You have surrendered your freedom of movement to a cellular modem. So where does that leave us? Is the driveway mechanic completely dead? Are we doomed to a future of digital serfdom, paying rent to drive our own trucks until the grid collapses? No, because the resistance is already forming, and it's fueled by cold, hard arithmetic. We are seeing a massive underground awakening. The black market for automotive freedom is booming. Guys are sourcing hacked firmware from Eastern Europe just to delete the parasitic emissions systems and software locks from their rigs. But playing a cat-and-mouse game with corporate software patches is exhausting. If you want true independence, you have to starve the beast. You have to completely opt out of their ecosystem. Do not buy the digital trap. Stop trading in your mechanical freedom for the illusion of a heated steering wheel and a blind spot monitor. If you want to own your vehicle, if you want a machine that respects you, that you can fix with hand tools on a dirt road in the middle of nowhere, you need to buy from the forever list. We are talking about the analog survivors. We are talking about pre-OBD loopholes and early OBD2 legends. You want a heavy-duty workhorse? Find yourself a Dodge with a 12-valve 5.9L Cummins. It uses a Bosch P70-100 mechanical injection pump. It doesn't need a microchip to run. It needs fuel, air, and compression. If an EMP goes off tomorrow, or if the cellular grid goes dark, that 12-valve is still going to haul 10,000 pounds of lumber. Look for a late 90s, early 2000s Ford with the 7.3L Power Stroke. Look for a GMT 800 generation Chevy Silverado with a cast-iron block V8 before they ruin them with active fuel management. Look for a Toyota with a 22R or 22RE engine. Yes, they have some rust. Yes, the paint might be fading, and the cassette deck might be jammed. But under the hood is pure, unadulterated, DIY-friendly, bulletproof mechanical engineering. When an alternator fails on a GMT 800, you spend $90 at the local auto parts store, you spend 15 minutes with a socket wrench, and you are back on the road. No laptops, no stealerships, no digital ransom. The automakers are currently executing the zero-stock trap. They are intentionally deleting the supply chains for older, reliable parts, trying to force these analog trucks off the road and force you into a new, heavily financed digital nightmare. Fight back. Support right-to-repair legislation in your state with the aggression of a cornered animal. Hoard the good parts while you still can. Learn to turn your own wrench. We are in a war for the future of ownership. They want a society of renters, blindly paying subscriptions for the privilege of existence. Deny them that revenue. Starve the stealerships. Buy old iron, fix it yourself, and take your mechanical independence back. Keep your wrenches dirty and your titles clean. I'll see you in the next one.